entire world went into a turmoil. People were not sure where to know where to begin when the lockdown and happened to start with. So how that has impacted the way we are thinking about jobs and careers today is this. If you look at it, I think companies have realized in the last 6 months that actually we can do more with less. You know, so that means there has been a sharper focus on productivity. And if you overall look at the workforce, most organizations actually, they've been carrying people, at least 20 to 30% of the workforce were far less productive than what they expected the productivity levels had to be. So the difference between performance and non-performance became much more starker during the epidemic or pandemic. So that is the biggest learning for employers. And for employees, I think it's about saying that how can I be effective on the job, what can I do, and so that is number one. And number two, of course, we also had a lot of resources which we didn't need otherwise, in terms of, it could be starting from office space to the travel, which people there was a joke. It sometimes people said, morning I have breakfast in Bangalore, my lunch in Mumbai, and dinner in Delhi. So people had those kind of punishing travel schedules. Though they were themselves pleasantly surprised that when work got done without doing many of those things which they were used to doing in the past. So a lot of changes, behavioral changes, the style of work, so to say, how we used to execute. We all preferred face-to-face meetings. So, but in the sense, but uh, I also think these are all temporary. Okay, we will go back to some level of normalcy. We still prefer, we are human beings, we prefer face-to-face interactions. So while this video is what best what we can do given the situation, but it's not far off to think that we will go back to our normal work schedule, but with a few changes going forward in terms of the way we look at employees and the way employees look at careers. So those things will change.
Right.
And that's my quick take. Industry is about 25 years old in its current form. I mean, somewhere in the early mid 90s is when what should I say, they were amassing people as an industry. So they actually don't have a bottom of the pyramid problem. They have a middle of the pyramid problem. They have a bloated middle. And it's again a classic case. Industry insiders will admit that about 30% of the workforce are actually useless in the current context. They're not bad people. It's about relearning and reskilling. I think Gaurav mentioned a point about learnability. How can they adapt? And also, what has happened is certain processes and which they used to execute, at the back end, which today machines are doing that. So you have AI, ML, all those things kicking in. And so with this rule-based engines and algorithms coming in, you don't need people for many of these jobs, which earlier it used to be done by people in a BPO or in an IT services company. So those jobs have disappeared. So learnability, they're all, I mean, if you go to a typical, the website of any of these large IT services players, you can, in fact, I do know one company where they have actually more or less rechristened all their senior leadership with, they've somewhere put digital, they've actually, so they're actually reorienting themselves to the reality. Now but I'm only, so that is one part. Okay. The second part, I think, is itself the cost you spoke about. So somebody with 1 or 2 years of experience or at the entry level can do something very similar to what somebody with a 10-15 year experience, person who's doing what he's doing in an IT services company. So that is where I think companies are really struggling with that, because that, given that they're such a large employer in the Indian context, anything you try and do there in terms of letting people go or something, it's a hot potato. I think nobody wants to take the bull by its horns as we speak. So companies are trying their own methods in terms of trying to reskill people and kind of redeploy and so on. And that's what is happening. So that problem is not going away anywhere. Carry, to your point. It
Right.
is something which all these companies have to face in the next, if not today, I think in the next couple of years, I think they all have to address these issues. See, what is there is there. So there we will, companies will hope for natural attrition and so on and so forth. If they are not able to kind of redeploy a lot of their workforce over time, they will look to get more efficient. Okay, so while that being that, what in future, what kind of skills which will work, right? Is that right, Kari? That is
Yeah,
what you're
pretty
asking.
much. Yeah.
So pretty much. So I think the fundamental shift is today, what are we looking for in any employee? I mean, forget the industry. It could be manufacturing or it could be. So today, what is core is that technology is, or digital, if you have to put it that way, is actually uh, it's an enabler for every business. No matter whether you are in food delivery to mobility to manufacturing. So the future employee is somebody who is not intimidated by technology or digital tools, somebody who has the ability to embrace technology to solve business problems. And this is quite applicable to leaders as well. So today's leader has to really think, how am I going to deploy technology or digital tools to solve business problems? So if you have that mindset, so which is very important for succeeding in the future, because today, if every business has its typical friction points, which can be solved by technology. So right from supply chain to even if in the manufacturing, if you look at the floor in manufacturing or look at quality, I mean, you take anything. Or if you in a consumer context, if you look at sales and distribution, your feet on the street, I mean, feet on the street, we still say feet on the street, but how are they enabled? How do we get real-time information? So everywhere there is we're deploying tech tools or digital tools. So people who are very comfortable and who have the ability to embrace technology to solve business problems are the ones who will succeed in the future. So that's very important. So I think tech, digital, I mean, these are something you should not start learning on the job. It should very much become part of our curriculum, and it should become ingrained in us as college graduates, as they pass out of their institutes or wherever they study, or from
Right.
school. That should become part of the thing, which I think it's going to be, because even with this advent of online classes, I think kids are
Hmm.
getting used far more. They have no choice, right? Isn't it? So I think that
Right.
will come in, kick in big time as we go forward. See, lot of it is driven by personal initiative. Okay, let's not take that fact away, because everything, as an employee, we expect the employer to actually spoon feed you, groom you in your career. So there is a lot of initiative which people miss out, and I think that is something which somebody coming into the career have to realize, that they are responsible for their own career. So don't expect somebody to handhold you for the next 40 years of your career. Take responsibility for your career and work in a company. When you work in a company, ensure that you're doing what you can. You have to really own the company in your mind. It's not that physical the ownership of shares or anything like that. That will come later. So one is a sense of ownership to your job, to your business, or to your that the task you do. So the sense of ownership is very important. So once you start getting into that zone, so you'll have to see, as a if you look at your career, if you're really somebody who wants to grow in your career, do jobs of increasing responsibility and so on, and also evaluate whether your company has got that kind of canvas to offer you opportunity. So it is today, you can be in one company, but you can do different jobs, or it's you to take it as a project today, because it's 30 years, 40 years doing the same job, having the same routine. Those days are gone, right? We've seen people going to the factory in the same bus, coming back in the same bus in the evening 5:30. So that era is over. So today, if you take a career, you can still spend 30 years, 40 years in a company. You can spend your lifetime in a company, provided that the company organization is growing. You also have an opportunity to grow along with the organization, and you have an opportunity to do different it could be different. The line of business could be different, where you get an opportunity in different line, or it could be a different geography, or you can look. So there are multiple opportunities uh, you can create in the same organization without not necessarily hopping jobs. So one has to look at one's career with that lens, to say that, am I learning something? Is that how am I improving as a professional? Every day I am on the job. Is the organization facilitating my learning? So that is very important. So some organizations don't, some organizations do. So ultimately, that will decide whether how much time you end up spending in a company.
Right.
So that is my take. So there is no one answer to your question, Kareed. So it is very, but at the same time, you don't want, people thinking that I need to do a new job every year or every 6 months. That's not possible, right? So you need to have some sort of, people do tend to get bored in what they do very soon. And they say, I have nothing left to achieve in this company. A lot of people come to us saying that that is where they want to change. And that would be, the nothing left to achieve would be in span of 18 months, 12 months, 18 months. So we often worry, what is wrong? Today's generation, their parents have done what they have done, and actually they put them in a secure place. So your father's generation had no choice but to actually stick to a job,
Correct.
stick to a career, so that
Yeah.
he can ensure that their children are well brought up, and so on and so forth. So today, there is no economic pressure for you to actually bring food to the table every month, in a lot of cases. So that is what gives you the freedom of choice. Say you can just, I've seen actually kids dropping out of engineering after 2 years, saying that they want to pursue a career in music. I would have got slaughtered even if I had thought on those lines, say some 20 years ago. So that was not possible. So that gives you the freedom of choice.
Right.
And somebody else worked hard, and today you have freedom of choice for the current generation. I think that also is the other factor which we need to consider.
Yeah,
And we'll
so
come to that when we talk about gig and so on, but that
Yeah.
is later in the conversation.